Howdy folks, Art Russell here, and I'm going to show you how to make some real flaky pie dough. One of my favorite things to bake is pie, any kind of pie, but my favorite is peach blueberry. I love peach blueberry pie, but everybody has their favorite, whether it be apple cherry or whatever. But the pie dough is so important. And a lot of people have trouble with the pie dough, and that's why I'm showing you how I make mine, because I've won a lot of best of awards and first place ribbons for my pies, and I contribute a lot of it to my pie dough and how it's put together. Anyway, one thing you don't want to do is, if you find a recipe that says put it through a processor, well, forget that recipe, because it handles the dough too much. You don't want to handle the dough. You don't want to handle the flour and the butter too much. You want to kind of gently move it around in your hand and work it a little bit. Get it into that, they say get it into a crumbly state, but it's not really a true crumbly state. It's more of a chunky state. And once you get it to that where the butter's in and the flour's there, but you can still see the butter in there, well, that's great. That's exactly where you want it before you add your water. The other misnomer about pie dough, and I've seen this in a lot of recipes, is they say after you put it into your balls, throw it in the refrigerator for a half an hour or something like that. And that's I've never had success with that, because and when you try to roll it out after that point, even if you let it sit, it's just it doesn't come out very flaky at all. Never had really good success with that. But if you do want to chill it for the purpose of baking, and you want that to be chilled, then put it in your pie pan first, your bottom layer. Put it in your pie pan first, and then put it in the refrigerator. That way you're not messing around with it a second time. Now me, when I make my pie, I don't put it in the refrigerator at all. I go straight from my pie dough and straight into the oven. So I make my pie all at one time. I make the dough, and then I add the innards, whatever they're going to be, and then straight into the oven. So anyway, when you're adding your water, I don't use a pastry knife. I use a fork. It gives me a little bit more gentleness and a little bit more control over what I'm doing with the pie dough. I'll give out the quantities that the recipe will be flashing on the screen here. I'll do that in YouTube after I post it. But you can see that I'm working the pie dough a little bit here, and it's starting to form chunks, not crumbs. If I get it too crumbly, then it's not going to be a really good consistency, and there you go. There's the chunks. Look at that. That looks like it's not even going to work, but it will. Trust me. Give it a little, mix it up with my hand a little bit. I can see that it's holding together now, and that's good enough for me. I'm going to put it into balls, and I'm going to work with it here in a minute. This part to me is just as important as mixing it up. You just don't want to handle the dough too much. So you flour the surface of your cutting board or your pie or the marble that you use, and then you you lay out your ball and you start rolling it. You coat the outside of your pan also. Um, Now they say that a lot of recipes or a lot of explanations say that for a 9-inch pie, you want your pie dough to go out 2 inches past that because of the lip of the pie. Um, I actually shoot for maybe only an inch past my bottom of my pie pan, and then I work it up from there when it's inside the pie pan. And as far as pie pans go, if you can get a glass one, uh, I just there's just nothing that tops a glass pie pan. If you ask me, the metal ones are okay, but the glass ones just have they bake a little bit different. The heat on glass to the pastry is just it's just tremendous. Where the metal is, it's not that great, or the aluminum. Now you can see my pie dough there is really flaky, and that's beautiful to me. I mean, I love that. It feels good. It's going to fall apart when I try to pick it up, and that's exactly what I want it to do. And then I'm going to work with it. That's all there is to it. A little bit bigger there. Okay, here comes the fun part. Soft hands, easy touch. You want to fold it in half. You want to pick it up gently, as slow, and you can see how it's trying to break up on me. And very gently add a little more flour to it there. And then you're going to pick it up and put it inside half of your pie pan. Now you see some of it broke off there at the bottom. That's fine with me. That just tells me how flaky this pie crust is going to be. Now I'm going to unroll it and or unfold it, and it's going to just kind of sit there, and I'm going to work it now very gently. And you can see that I'm short on my sides, so I'm going to work it up on my sides, and I'm going to take the scraps that are down on the bottom, and I'm going to build it back up inside the pie pan. I've actually had pie crusts while I'm working with them, just not even fold in half, just fall right apart, and I've had to pick them up and just put pieces of the pie dough inside the pie pan and work with it. And to me, that's what you're looking for. That's the flakiness that you want to get out of a pie crust. Now the last step I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fork and I'm going to put a million holes in this pie. Well, maybe not a million, but I'm going to put quite a few, and it's going to go all along the bottom, and I'm going to do all along the sides. Okay, now let's get ready to put on the top. As far as the inside of the pie goes, I will put out another video for that. This happens to be what I call a dry pie. I put flour on the inside of it along with the cinnamon and sugar and no butter. And it's really good with vanilla ice cream. It's on the dry side. It's not a real runny pie. Anyway, I folded the top in half, and you can see I put it on there. And right now I'm going to take and I'm going to slit my top there a little bit. And then I'm going to add my egg wash, which is 1 egg and about 2 tablespoons of water. And I'm going to put that all over the top, give it a nice little glaze. And then I'm going to add a little sugar. And there you have it.